this one is my mic, and I have to turn that, wait, to turn it up? Yes, I think. This is loud. Why is it at 100? I am not organized. Hi. Yes, the music I chose is like Dark Royal themed because that is my theme. I don't really play into the dark theme as much, but that was originally my theme. As you can see. I'm more like dark cute, like a mix of that. That's like my favorite thing. I didn't turn up the mic. Check, 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 check! I don't know. Check, 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 check! Can't be too loud because if I'm singing, I'm gonna be way louder than usual. And bless me, I think that's just, my throat is, I've had a sinus infection. I think I also have allergies. I should probably grab an allergy pill. That might help. Time I go downstairs, he follows me. And now he's gonna in a minute want back in. I'm always staring into your souls. The cuteness is just a disguise. I'm actually evil. But evil is hot, so. This wasn't okay. This background music is too short. Be very afraid. I'm going to steal your soul. I'm going to steal your soul and feed it to my demon cat Frisk. Yes, I'm excited for the trip, but also nervous. It's okay if I feed your soul to my cat. He's very hungry. Well, I was just on a trip like a few weeks ago, and that's how I got the sinus infection. But it's almost fixed. I think now I'm just having allergies because I'm slightly allergic to my cat. It really affects my voice acting and singing. But cats are too cute. Yes. But my cat is picky. He only likes Fancy Feast. I mean, he's the princess's cat, so. He likes Fancy Feast and those tube things that you give them. I don't know what they're called. My cat doesn't like dry food. He like begs for the wet food. If there's none left, he won't stop bugging me. Wet food is supposed to be. Your cats are weird. All of them? I've never met a cat that didn't like wet food. Maybe like a specific brand of it, but if you get the cheap wet food. But cats have different preferences. My cat doesn't even like some of the treats, some of the hard treats. He doesn't like those. He like needs like very specific ones. How do all your cats not like it? Because I've never seen a cat that isn't obsessed with wet food. What did you do to them? Well, I was recently on a trip, a few weeks ago to Vancouver, which was my hometown, but I moved from there because it was more expensive. But so now it's on the other coast. It's on the other side of the continent. Is this music very loud? Whoops, I'm turning it up. I don't know. It's hard to know what you're hearing. And I don't trust chat because chat sometimes doesn't tell me when my audio sounds terrible. It doesn't tell me when my mic is way too loud. Because sometimes I have to turn it up and down because like I have it on low volume for some things and on high volume for other things. And also when the game music is completely off. And I'm just like, someone's like, there should be music at this part. I'm like, what? There is music. Wait a minute. It was a visual novel style game, so it's possible to think that there might not be music in it, but... So, At the start of the trip, I got on the plane, and me and Zenny weren't sitting together because there wasn't space. But I was sitting beside this old guy who kept giving me cookies and licorice. Like, here, want this, want this, want this. I made cookies, want. It's okay, he didn't poison them. He didn't poison them. They were fine. Yes, they were good. But I also got, like, randomly really sick, like, at one point during the flight, and it's like, it was terrible. I'm like, I need to get off this flight, but I couldn't. There were still hours left. It's the worst. But it was just a random, sickness that passed over, like, after a bit. That's why I don't... That's why I don't take... I'm not supposed to take, like, a hormonal injection before the flight. Well, it's birth control. But it causes sickness sometimes. Especially if I'm, like, not, like, resting. If I'm on a flight, it's like... It's usually fine when I'm at home, but, like, for some reason, if I'm on a flight, it just gets terrible. Or if I'm at the airport or whatever. That's happened a few times. But, like, even more so when I had pills because I couldn't remember to take them on time. Especially when the time zones were changing. So that was an issue. But yeah, I was going on this trip, for my brother's wedding, my youngest brother, because, they wanted me there, and I felt too bad not to go, even though I'm not really a wedding person, but, my dad paid for it, so, but I felt bad because I missed the other trip that was paid for me. Because that was the one time that, like, usually I'm used to there being, like, a replacement flight. This was the one time that my family, they decided to book through, like, a travel agency, and they can be really weird about it. But I felt super bad about it because flights are expensive. Honestly, I didn't really want to go in the first place, but I, like, felt like I should. It was like, I was supposed to go for Christmas, that was the thing. It's also why I didn't go to, Vancouver that year. But then again, I probably couldn't have afforded it because I could only go to that trip because my family paid for it. I realize now when I was going to Everfree, I wasted so much money flying out to Seattle when I could have just flew to Vancouver and then took a bus to Seattle. I wish I knew that earlier. I mean, like, before I went on those ever-free trips because I wasted unnecessary money. And yeah, with some trips, there's cheaper airports, so I was like, on a lot of trips, I think I was wasting unnecessary money because I could just go to a cheaper airport and then get a bus ride to the other place. I was going to go to Everfree, like, that was my plan. I was like, I thought, well, like, oh, well, I'm gonna be in Vancouver's that weekend, but they're like, but we need you here for the whole weekend to get ready for the wedding. Well, at least they paid for my nails to get done and my hair to get done. I didn't really care for the wedding part of the trip. The other part of everything that wasn't the wedding part of the trip was better. Like, getting my nails and hair done, that was nice. I still have the nail polish on, but it's weird because the nail polish, my nails are grown out, so like just the tips are red. It lasts for a really long time. I feel like I should get that done more often because this lasts forever. Only one nail is chipped. Oh, of course, I think you're thinking about the nails on not just my hand nails, my feet nails. Though I wasn't even wearing like sandals or anything, so it's like no one really saw them for my toenails for the wedding, but it's like, but they were good for other reasons. That obviously I wasn't going to tell my family. Yeah, but during the wedding, it was super awkward. Like, I felt so out of place. Like, I felt like I was just so awkward there the whole time. And then, like, it was... not too much going on, just, watching the ceremony, which was, obviously awkward. I mean, it's awkward to, like, go to an event that's celebrating my brother's relationship. Especially when he's, when he was marrying the girl who was stalking me online, but, that's another thing. She realized later that what she heard about me was all completely wrong. My other brother was his groomsman. I don't think I'd want to be heavily involved in it. Though I kind of at least wish they'd involved me in the music section at the end. So, yeah, there was like one thing I was upset about. Also because, like, my nana, my mom's mom, she also, like, pointed out, like, while the music was going on, she pointed out that you should be up there. You're a better singer than them. And that just made me have negative feelings. Negative feelings because I was thinking about how, like, people don't involve me in stuff and, like, a lot of things. Stuff at cons. being too shy to be a performer. I mean, well, it's because, the girlfriend, the person he was marrying is the daughter of, parents who own a music, studio. The one that I used to sing at. This brought back, like, a lot of memories as well, so it was, like, super emotional. And like there was another awkward thing, like my singing teacher was there, but she didn't talk to me the entire time. I kind of thought she would, so it was kind of just weird that like we used to be close, but we hadn't seen each other in forever and we didn't even talk. And my singing teacher is her aunt, that's why. But I used to perform for my singing lessons, like, a lot. And I would go all out, I'd like dress up and I would sing the most unusual things. I would like try my hardest to stand out for the recitals. I dressed up as like Rin, Tokyo Teddy Bear, and I sang her song in English, the Tokyo Teddy Bear song. The issue was I was sick during that, but I still did it anyway. My throat just went kind of bad for part of it. I'm like, I'm not missing it. But it was like less pressure before when I was younger because like I didn't really know anyone, so there wasn't a lot of people to judge me. There was just I was singing in front of strangers, so it didn't really matter that much. Except for my family, but eh. I never felt I never felt they were that supportive, so eh. They never had like much feedback for me, and honestly, I performed and like my family didn't really have anything to say, and that made me upset. I get weirdly emotional randomly. But yeah, they were playing like, it was like the rock band that I used to play with, and they were playing the music that I used to play back when I was playing guitar, so those memories. But at one point, I was in like rock band class for a while because that was when I was like embarrassed of singing, but I gained confidence. Well, that's what happened was like I wasn't practicing guitar enough, but like I just started singing like every single day, and they're like, you should be in the singing class instead. But they really needed a singer at the time too, but like I was too embarrassed to say it, to say I sing, and I wish I had. That was also a thing that happened like in the elementary school play. Like I was auditioning like for the Cheshire Cat, and I like worked really hard at it, and but I just got given this like small role because generally they gave me the small roles. But then later I found out that they didn't cast anyone for the Cheshire Cat, and they were like asking, and I didn't say anything because I was too nervous to speak up for myself. But I was how old? 12? I at least got to sing in a lot of songs for that play. I was a singer since like I was really little, but then I just started losing confidence. I was in elementary school choir, and I used to sing Webkinz songs at the store when I was a little kid. I just didn't care. Like, when I was bored and my parents were shopping, I would just sing, like, Webkinz music. It changed because I felt people, like, were changing when I got older, like, around teenage years. And that I was scared of standing out suddenly because I thought I was gonna be judged. Though I was always scared of judgment, like even when I was really little, but less than later on. Well, I acted in, like, a lot of embarrassing ways when I was really little that I was judged for. Usually for being too emotional. No, I felt like there was, like, no one as weird as me. I didn't, like, see anyone else acting that anxious of everyone. It just seemed like it was only something I struggled with. Though I did notice, like, a few people who were also shy, and I had crushes on those people specifically because they could understand me. But the issue was that we were too scared to talk to each other, so that didn't really go anywhere. And I think, yeah, they liked me back, but we were both super shy, so we hardly talked to each other. I found the Brony fandom when I was like 15, but then I like started isolating. I started isolating because I was scared of people in my real life finding out that I liked ponies at 15. And yeah, there's also other reasons I started isolating myself from everyone. Because I just lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Why did oh right. I isolated from people because I started voice acting and I was worried about people judging me for it. And I started singing pony music and stuff like that. And I was making YouTube videos. And like only people online really cared, so I just isolated from everyone except for people online. It wasn't about the money. It was for me. It wasn't paying money at first. I was only 15 and it was just for fun. It's because I was obsessed with ponies and I really wanted to be involved. But the voice acting part, I also wanted to be noticed, and being noticed for a talent that seemed extra special. I didn't know I was gonna make money from it. It was never about that. Even when I like started doing the lewd stuff, it wasn't because it makes good money. I mean, that might have been part of it, but it was honestly just because I was curious and an exhibitionist. I would have actually done it sooner, but I was scared of my parents. For a good reason. They did not react well to that. Same thing about when I went vegetarian. I was like, I would have gone vegetarian sooner because I was an animal lover, but I was scared of my parents, again, for a good reason. When my worries end up constantly being right. But yeah, I was gonna, at the wedding, I didn't mention the part about the food. Wedding food has generally been awful. For vegetarians specifically. They just, it's way better when they give you a buffet where you can just choose whatever you want, but like they give one option and I'm very like selective of the guy was good. Even though it was terrible. Well, if it freezes, it's not, I can't do anything about it. At least on the recording, it doesn't freeze unless the internet dropped. Then I don't think so though, because everything would have crashed. Though maybe not, if it depends how long the internet drops. Because my OBS doesn't crash. Yes, I do need cuddles. But yeah, their starters were good. They had like stuff you could choose from. The salad they gave before the main course was good. I could have just eaten that as my whole meal. The main course was not good. The desserts were good. Everything but the main course was fine. I should not talk while it drops because I might lose this section of the stream footage. Why is it so hot? Yeah, it's so hot right now. Oh. No, it's not like... It's hot, but not like hot hot. It just gets extra hot in this room specifically. Ride your ass? Sus. That sounds fun, actually. If you want to contact me about a VA business, refer to that link right there. I'm very busy, and I prefer if people just fill out the form. Rather than trying to contact me directly. Yeah, fill out the form with all the info, and then I will contact you to make things easier on me. But I also quickly took a few pictures at the wedding place because there was pretty scenery there. Yeah, I took a picture in front of the sunset. I don't know what VTuber you're thinking of, because I don't know any VTubers who look like this. Don't ask to collab in the stream chat. Hi, welcome. Oh, not a VTuber. I thought you meant... I don't really look like Sayori. She has like orange hair, and I'm only slightly look like Sayori. I think she has a bow, but it's not black. It's red, I think. And there has been art of me that was drawn, like, and it looked like Sayori, but that's because they made my hair lighter than usual. And they didn't add the black bow, the important details that separate me from her. But yeah, I'm not really getting Sayori vibes from this model. It's too gothic. I mean, the game is that theme, but But at the end of the wedding, I got like upset. The other thing I hate about weddings is you're stuck in this big like place around a bunch of people and you can't like go anywhere. You can't just like get up and leave if you're like exhausted from being around that many people. I kept saying that I wanted to go outside, but I didn't want to go outside alone. I did for a moment, but it wasn't enough. I don't think anyone has ever compared me to Sayori, so I wouldn't say that's common. The only time someone has is on a very specific art where I was drawn like in a specific style. It is YouTube, it's called DarkNightPrincess. DarkNightPrincess VA to be exact. And yeah, Blacken would know. It's almost like we're dating or something. It is. I don't know if I directly linked it, but maybe I did. Maybe I changed it to the main one. I don't remember if I did or not because there's been a lot of changes. There are multiple other YouTubes, but they don't have a following, so I don't really use those for streaming anymore. It's not like good for engagement. Anyway, okay, I didn't finish my story. Yeah, we left the wedding because I got emotional, and like everyone saw that, so pretty embarrassing. That happens at like every con, but usually I'm not in public. I did the opposite. I started streaming on YouTube. I started focusing more on YouTube because the engagement was better. I just used this for double engagement. Originally I was doing the Mystic Persona on just Twitch, but my YouTube is way more popular, so... Twitch is not good for engagement in my experience. YouTube pushes my videos a lot. That's why I almost have 10k now. I need to keep posting. But it's because I don't just do VTuber content, I do voice acting content, specifically comic dubs, which are extremely popular. So that's how I get the engagement, but most of my YouTube following is not watching the streams, they're there for the other content. There's just like a couple people who watch the streams. What games am I looking forward to? I don't know, I have a lot on my list. I kind of go in blind, so I don't actually know, like, much about them before I play because I don't like spoilers. But yeah, I get, the Twitch algorithm is not good for me, at least. But I also think in general, they don't push anyone who is small. You just get, like, hidden. The only way I gained followers on Twitch is, I think occasionally someone finds me through Twitch, but very rarely. I get them from Twitter and other social medias. And also it's lower than it was. I used to get like 20 viewers when I first started, but that might be because people really like the Mystic Persona and the teasing, and I'm more doing what I want now. I still do that, but not like as much as I did. But honestly, half of my original viewers are people who got banned because they ended up being creepy. Either that or they don't stick around because they were only there to goon and then got bored. When I look at like my older streams, like for clips, I see the chat and I'm like, I've literally banned half these people because they ended up being weird. They were very parasocial in like a creepy way. And I used to really feed into the parasocial and being friends with fans, and it didn't go very well. Because they weren't like genuine, they were just, thank you. They were obsessed with the me they saw in my content. The me that's like exaggerated to entertain. So they didn't really know me. But yeah, I'm still having issues from when I used to be way too friendly. These people keep trying to crawl back and be weird again, and they get surprised when I'm just not interested anymore after like 2 to 3 years. I'm not gonna ban someone for liking tarantulas. all creatures. I respect all animals. Even the insect ones. I mean, sometimes they're scary, but I would know. I don't even want to hurt bugs. I can't. I will like bring them outside. And my partner is scared of bugs, so he has to get me to remove them for him. So, like, yeah, I did post that one picture where there was a bug on my back, and I was shocked because I didn't know until I was looking back at the picture. Like, I was like looking through my pictures that I took on my trip, and I just see this bug on my back, and one of them like, what? Bug jump scare. How did they not see that when they were taking the picture? It was really big too, a big beetle. I'm not like that scared of bugs, that was just like surprising. But I'm not like, I'm a little bit like, if they're just on me and I'm not expecting them to be on me, that can surprise me a bit. But if they're minding their own business, they're fine. That shirt was, it was a Madoka Magica shirt. I'm not gonna burn this shirt, it's just a bug, it's harmless. I looked up what kind of bug it was too, and yes, it's harmless, it's just a beetle. A big beetle, but a harmless one. It took me a bit to find out which kind of beetle it was because it was like a little bit blurry, but I figured it out. It was like white spotted something. It's not very spotted, but you could see like a faint spot on its back. I looked up beetles in that specific area and found it. That was in Whistler, which is a very pretty place. Yeah, but a hype train is not gonna happen unless there's multiple. I don't know how much. Does 2 start? I don't know, when does a hype train start? But yeah, that was the last part of my trip, when I was planning to meet up with a friend, but I didn't know how I was gonna do this because, having to explain this to my family felt really awkward. Well, I tried to, like, they knew I mentioned that I had friends in Vancouver. But, they assumed I was with Zenny, so it wouldn't make it as weird. But actually, we split up. Hopefully my family don't see this stream. I doubt they will. It doesn't matter now. I'm too far away for them to make things awkward. But while I was there, I didn't want to, like, be confronted with an awkward questions. They did, well, I did mention that I went to Whistler because I knew my family liked Whistler. And, like, I was gonna share the pictures. I'm like, well, if I post these pictures, they're gonna know I went to Whistler, so... My friend actually worked at that mountain, which is, it's a ski mountain when it's winter, and it's just like a hiking trail. Or if you want to be lazy, go up the gondola. I'm not lazy, I just didn't have the time to do the full-on hike. I would've. I have before in the past. And gondolas can be fun. I used to snowboard on that mountain. Yeah. That was a thing I used to do with family in the winter. It looks very different in the summer. But there's still snow there, which is interesting. There's still patches of snow, and it's like 30 degrees Celsius, and there's snow there. Which is interesting. There's not a lot of snow, but there's small patches that are like permanent snow that just doesn't go away because they're so thick. Like, what's it called? Glaciers? Yeah, but it's like it's like mountain snow. And if you go up in the mountains, there is still snow even when it's warm out. And I took a lot of I haven't even posted all the pictures I took. I didn't have time. There's still more. But I thought this was gonna be awkward to like explain because we didn't go home after going to Vancouver. I stayed out there overnight, but fortunately they didn't question it too much. They just assumed I was with Zenny with friends. In the past, they would have been super nosy, but I think now they know that I don't tolerate it. I would be upset if they were annoying like that. I mean, it's Canada, but Canada does get warm. So Vancouver is one of the warmer parts of Canada. It doesn't actually snow there that much. It snows in the mountains, but not in the lower part. It's also an interesting thing where it snows like in the higher parts. That was also an interesting thing when I was younger. Like in the same city, half of it would have snow, the other half would have no snow because of the one part being higher up. I think it's because the snow melts by the time it gets lower. I don't know how I'm not entirely sure about that science. Also, the first Vancouver I went to, someone asked me if there would be snow, and I'm like, no, it doesn't snow that often in Vancouver. I was wrong. The one week it decided to snow was Vancouver, and it got the coldest of the year that one week. It's probably cheap that week, that's probably why. That tends to happen, like the one week of Vancouver is the one week it snows. Even if like it's only slightly lower. I haven't really looked up the science behind that. But yeah, it definitely snows up in Whistler. Especially on the mountain, that gets a lot of snow. But they actually, One thing I was told is they make artificial snow. If it doesn't snow enough, they create artificial snow so that they can put it on the mountain for the skiing. That's an interesting thing. Because sometimes it doesn't snow enough for skiing, so they have to create it themselves. Yep, I've heard the yellow snow joke a lot when I was younger. We also had like this hill like local to us, which was like a sledding hill. Yeah, and it was like really active in winter, like everyone was sledding down that. No. I'm pretty sure it might have actually been over 30 Celsius, but I don't remember the exact temperature. It fluctuated. It was like between 26 to 30 something. But yeah, memories. Also, like on the bus trip down there, I remember because we'd driven down that place a lot. So it's like the meme. One side is just rock, the other side is like a pretty lake and river view. Like, oh, well, make sure that you sit on this side, not that side. As far as I'm aware, I don't know if you can make snow in a blender. And if I clip it, I can like actually add the pictures to it. I could have done it now, but I didn't like prepare to be talking about this ahead of time. Well, technically I did. I planned to talk about this trip because I haven't yet. But I didn't have enough time to like put all the pictures on my screen. Why would you put snow in the blender? Wouldn't that just melt the snow? And if it's really like strong snow, like if snow gets clumped together like hard, it gets pretty strong. That's what glaciers are. Oh yeah, when I was in school, they had like the high school I was at, they had like a specific part, like a specific field that was the snowball throwing field. So like you can't throw snowballs anywhere outside of this one field. In this one field, have fun. Like anyone in that field has chosen to get snowballs thrown at them, so they did have like, yeah, I remember in one of my middle high school, They had like really funny events like Pie the Teacher Day. Where you like paid like I think it was like they were funding something, but you could like pay a small amount of money. I think it was like $2 or something, and then you could throw a pie. It might have been less than $2 even. It might have just been like but you could they gave you a pie and you could just throw it at a teacher. Obviously only in this specific room that was set up for it. Oh yeah, I think they also like set up this thing where the teachers were just like in this wall with their heads like through it, and you just throw the pie at their head. There was another one where it's tape a teacher to the wall. Yeah, they just like put tons of tape on the teacher until the teacher was like stuck to the wall. There's a lot of these things. There was a lot of Halloween ones. Halloween week, like pumpkin carving competition, candy pong, which I got an entire cup of candy because I got the ping pong ball into the cup. My friend didn't, and she was jealous. Like actual ice, not snow. One time in elementary school, I forgot about the no throwing snowball rules, and I threw like a snowball at someone, and then I like, no one saw me do it, so they asked like who did that, I'm like, oh yeah, that was a rule not to do that. I just quietly didn't say anything. Well, I've mostly been talking here because I had a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't even know how long this has been on because my stream at one point dropped. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm kind of drained already. I think because it's been like 2 hours. I think because it's 6. That means I didn't start immediately, but
Are you live?
yes.
But it doesn't say start streaming.
I told you this. I don't press these ones. I have an extension. I'll watch stuff.
Are you streaming though?
I'm ending stream.
Oh, I was about to ask if you wanted to watch stuff.
Because it's 6 and I'm worn out.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly do what I meant to do on stream, but I just talked.
What were you meant to do on stream?
I was gonna sing and record, but I ended up talking for a really long time.
Okay, well I'm gonna seal the door up until you do that.
No,
I'm gonna activate
I'll
the
just
locks.
save that for next time.
I'm putting the metal gate down. Or does that sound like a Miku creepypasta, or just like locked in a room or something?
Forced to sing.
I feel like you could make a Miku horror story so easily.
Yeah.